This is the Wurkkos HD12. First, I'm going to give you an overview of the light's features. Then I will tell you how I've been using the light, some of my experiences using it. Then I'll give you some pros and cons. I always do my best to give the most honest and unbiased reviews possible. So let me tell you briefly about my relationship with Wurkkos. I don't have one. So I didn't buy this flashlight. This light was sent to me from Joe, We Fight the Dark YouTube channel, and on Instagram. I'll leave links. He got these lights from Wurkkos. He did a review of them and then gave some away and sent this one to me. Right about the time I started to do this review the first time, a couple of months ago, I got an email from Wurkkos. And they asked if I was familiar with their company or with their lights. I emailed them back and said, yes. And they said, great. We will send you some lights. We just ask that you do a short video going over the features of each of the light when you get them, because I try to be as honest as possible when I do a review. I said I can make a short video going over the features of each of the lights, but I will not promise like any positive review. I don't like unboxing reviews where people pull something out of a box and say, check out this product, it's awesome, go buy it. I won't do that. I will make a video when I get the lights, the overview, these are the features of the light. And after I have used the light for a few weeks, I will do a follow-up actual review of the light. I got another email back and said, that's fine. So we're gonna send you some lights, give us an address to send them to, gave them the address, and then they ghosted me.
Great story, compelling and rich.
Now that I have told you that very exciting story, and I'm sure that most everybody has clicked off to another video, let's get to the actual review of this flashlight. The Wurkkos HD12 is a right angle light. This is an aluminum body. It's just a little less than an inch wide, the widest point, which is the emitter for the light, and 3 5/16 or a little more than 3 1/4 inches long. There's some millimeter measurement for people who use silly things like that. The light weighs 2.5 ounces with the battery in the light, which we will get to in a moment. It has both white and red lights with a couple of different levels. The white light has 5 different levels. The red light has 3 different levels, and then a flashing red light. The light is all operated with a single button. This has a rechargeable battery, and it charges with a USB-C. The charging port has a little rubber cover that goes over it to keep dust out. It comes with a charging cable, but this light is a dual fuel light. What that means is you can recharge the battery that is in it with the USB-C cable, but you can also unscrew the tail cap and remove the battery. You can put any AA battery in the light and it will run on that as well. Tail of the light, the battery cap is magnetic. It also comes with a pocket clip right here that you can put on or remove, and it comes with a headlamp strap. And in the box there is a lanyard. Also, it doesn't have a hole anywhere to put a little lanyard string. Price for this light, when I'm recording this video, it was $29.99 on Amazon and about $34, I think, on the Wurkkos website. I'll go through the different modes of the light and show you the brightness levels. The run times are kind of varied. It depends on what kind of battery you have in there. For the white light, you have 5 different modes. There is a moonlight mode, which is 2 lumens, low light, which is about 10 lumens. Then it steps up to medium, which is 120 lumens, and then high, which is a 300 lumen light. There's also a turbo mode, which is 850 lumens. Turbo mode, though, will ramp down and go down to that high level of 300 lumens. But you do have that 850 lumens for a couple of minutes. You switch it to red light, you've got 3 different levels there. The low red light is a 1 lumen red light. You have a medium, which is 10 lumens. And then the high red light is 30 lumens. There's also a blinking red light, which is also the 30 lumen light, just blinking. So now that we've gone over the features of this light, let me tell you what I have been using this light for. I've been using this light a lot as a headlamp. It actually works pretty well as a headlamp. It's not too heavy. My kids have used it a lot too. They typically don't use the head strap. They'll usually take it off and just use the light when they're running around doing whatever it is they do with, they just like playing with flashlights. I've used it working on some things at night, building a trampoline at like midnight. Lasted about 1.5 hours. I think I had it on high to start with. Then I just swapped the battery for a different battery and finished what I was working on. I used the red light for walking outside. I like going out to take pictures of the sky that I'm just never going to look at again. So now let's talk about some pros and cons of the Wurkkos HD12. So the first pro is the dual fuel ability. I have a lot of other lights that are rechargeable, but when the light dies, you have to recharge it before you can use it, which means you're waiting. This light, you don't have to do that. I can take the battery out and put that battery in the charger, put another battery in, and keep using the light. Or I can just take disposable alkaline batteries, stick those in there. I can use whatever AA cell that I have, alkaline or rechargeable, and I can recharge the batteries in this light by plugging in the USB-C cable. Another pro is that this works really well as a headlamp. It's not too heavy, pretty adjustable. It adjusts up and down. I really like using headlamps or hands-free lights. It makes a great headlamp for like walking around at night. The red light is really nice. It has that very low red light for when you just need a little bit of light to read something or look at something. That highest red light setting is great for walking. It lights up a pretty good area. Last pro, I think, is the button. It's very clicky. It's very tactile. So when you turn the light on and off, you can tell that you are turning it on and off. You can hear it and you can feel it. Let's talk about some cons for this light. One of the cons is, of course, having a single button for all of the functions. Anytime you have a light with red and white lights and you have to access them through different numbers of clicks like you do this one, it's just kind of a pain. 1 click turns the light on, 2 clicks goes to turbo mode, 3 clicks goes to red, 4 clicks goes to lockout, so the light won't turn on accidentally. That's kind of a pain though if I'm using the red light, like I sometimes like to do, and I want to keep using the red light. It's kind of disappointing when you've been sitting outside looking at the stars or looking for the northern lights or whatever it may be, and you go to walk back to the house and you click that light expecting that nice red light, and then instead you blast your eyeballs out with turbo mode. It does remember which white light mode you are in, so when you turn it on, if you go to a higher mode, when you turn it off, you turn it back on, it's still going to be in that mode. That's kind of nice. I just wish it would remember when you had the red light on and you turned it off, it would go back to red. Another con is the magnetic cap is kind of weak. And I'm comparing that to other flashlights I have with magnetic ends or magnetic caps on them. This one is a little bit weak. So if you stick it on something to hold your light there while you're working, it will get knocked off a little more easily than other lights that I have. Another con, and this is maybe a little bit picky, sometimes cons are things that annoy me, maybe not annoy everyone. It's kind of a pain to have the pocket clip on here and then try to use it as a headlamp. Now what you're supposed to do is remove the pocket clip from the light before you mount it on here to use it as a headlamp. And then if I'm using it as a headlamp, what am I supposed to do with this? Maybe just a better solution for how the clip interacts with the light and with the headlamp mount. If I ran the world, it's something that I would have made different.
If you vote for me, all of your wildest dreams will come true.
So those are my pros and cons. Let me just give you some final thoughts on this light. I think this is a fantastic light. For $30, you have a lot more capability than you do with some other lights that are only rechargeable. That being said, it is in this kind of odd spot where it's sort of being a flashlight and it's sort of being a headlamp, and it doesn't really do the best at being either of those things. So this is a flashlight. You're gonna hold this in your hand. You're gonna get a lot more throw out of this light, but this makes a really terrible headlamp. This headlamp, I think this is a Duracell brand headlamp. Costco was selling these in like a 3-pack or 4-pack a couple of years ago. And this headlamp is great. Flood, spot, red light, blue light, but I'm not getting the battery capabilities out of this light that I am out of this. And I can't take this one off and clip it to my pocket and use it in other ways. It's just a headlamp. That's where the light like this really shines. It's not being the best at anything. It's not the best to go in your pocket. It's not the best headlamp, but it has some really nice features that make it a really good, very affordable flashlight. You guys tell me what you think. Leave me a comment down below. Thank you all for watching. I appreciate all of you, and I will see you all next time.